Live from our studios in Frankfurt, Germany, this is the AFN Evening News.
Good evening. The NATO meeting of foreign ministers ended today in Brussels with a strong show of unity. Members pledged to tackle new threats to Western security from any corner. In a statement issued at the end of the meeting, the 16-member alliance called for U.S. forces to remain in Europe to guarantee stability. NATO Secretary General Manfred Warner says the alliance is showing solidarity and consensus as it reassesses its own future. Warner also stated the U.S. and Canada would not be left out of plans being made by the 12-nation European community to take on a defense and security role. The Secretary General says the alliance, while traditionally led by the United States, will have to be rebalanced to consider a stronger European identity. Members of a German think tank met today in Frankfurt to discuss the Gulf crisis. The Frankfurt-based Peace Research Institute invited the press for a question-and-answer session. Experts covered a series of Middle East issues and gave their opinion on whether the present situation in the Gulf calls for war.
I cannot anticipate how we can avoid the fighting. The only possibility I do see is the retreat of Saddam Hussein, and I will not exclude that. I doubt, however, that he will retreat without any kind of compromise offered to him, and President Bush is very decisive in saying he will not offer any kind of compromise. So I cannot anticipate how we can avoid the war fighting, but it's a very bad situation.
If the whole thing should be acceptable for the Americans and the Israelis and the Arab allies of the Americans, it must entail the disarmament by Iraq of its chemical, its missile and its nuclear weapons capability, which is not there but is growing. That in turn means that to get Saddam Hussein to make disarmament steps, Israel must give up its own nuclear weapons, which it certainly has. So that is a very comprehensive thing, which of course obviates the present policy of Israel. It obviates the present policy of the United States to protect Israeli security interests. And if you don't get the Israelis to turn around by 180 degrees, Saddam Hussein cannot get what he needs. So for that reason, I think we are really in a quandary, and it's very hard to get out.
Members of the Frankfurt think tank were also asked if Europeans would back the Americans in a Gulf war. Some experts feel while the Germans are ready to support the Americans in the Persian Gulf crisis, there are limits to that support, and one of them is financial. The deployment of American troops from Europe will be a continuous process for the next few weeks. 70,000 soldiers will leave the European theater and make the transition from this environment to the desert. USER's Joe Garvey reports on the arrival of one unit and their first taste of desert sand.
Welcome to Saudi Arabia. It's about an 8-hour flight from Germany to Southwest Asia. And as the first large elements of U.S. Army Europe's 7th Corps arrive, they immediately feel the temperature difference, but seem to be coping with the change quite well.
Well, it's about what we expected. Flat and dusty. So, well, all the maps we've seen up to now and all the orientations that we received, this is just about what we expected. We had been waiting for a few days and trying to catch up with flights, so they were ready to move. Plus, it was 4 inches of snow on the ground and about 12 degrees, so they were ready for some warmth.
It has taken about 30 days from the day these soldiers got their word to deploy to their arrival in Saudi. This passenger holding area is just a short stop in their journey.
We meet these people off these birds and bring them down here to the passenger holding area. Plane commander signs everybody in, and we decide where the people have to go.
From this air base, they will be bused to an intermediate staging area, and then eventually be bused to a port where they will meet up with their equipment and prepare for movement into the field. They have processed thousands of soldiers through this air base in the last couple of days, and will process many thousands more in the next few days. In Saudi Arabia, Joe Garvey reporting.
Joe Garvey will be following that unit of soldiers as they settle in the desert. Throughout the week, we'll get a detailed picture of the transitioning process. Also following 7th Corps activity in the Gulf, Gail McCabe files a report tonight on another type of transition. This one involves machinery. Every tracked vehicle shipped to the desert has to be painted when it arrives, and there are thousands of them.
For over 40 years, American forces stationed in Germany operated in the color of the land, basic green. Deployment to Saudi Arabia is bringing on a new color requirement, basic brown.
And our mission here is to paint the tanks that are coming down from Germany. They're coming down, as you see, they're coming down forest green, and they're coming down, we're putting the caulk paint and the sand camouflage on the tanks.
The crews are a combination of a National Guard unit out of Florida and volunteers from the Army Materiel Command in Alabama. The hours are long and the work is constant. 440 units were repainted in just the last 2 hours.
There's one thing that can be said for Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of dust. And anybody can tell you can find it in anything, especially on these new brown tanks.
Dust is a real problem. We've got a maintenance problem. The hose lines are wearing out, and as the equipment comes in, we're having a little problem getting the dust off the vehicles before we can paint them. And maintenance on the equipment, we're constant downtime for to keep the equipment running because we're fighting the dust.
Running a paint shop in the desert is tough, with no time for the fine touch. Just enough time to get the job done and get the troops back on the road. In Saudi Arabia, Gail McCabe, 7th Corps, AFN News.
Gail McCabe will be following 7th Corps activity at Desert Shield throughout the week. Tomorrow night, we'll talk with an Army chaplain about how the spiritual needs of soldiers are taken care of. 7th Medical Command officials in Heidelberg say healthcare providers from the states have begun arriving in Europe. More than 2,000 Reserve, National Guard, and active duty healthcare specialists are expected to replace 7th MedCom personnel leaving for Desert Shield. Over 70% of the incoming group of medical personnel are from the reserves. The rest are National Guardsmen, with close to 90 active duty physicians coming from Army hospitals as far away as Hawaii. 7th MedCom officials say incoming medical personnel are slated for assignment to MedCom hospitals and clinics throughout the command, and they should all be in Europe by the end of the month. Well, all soldiers deploying to Operation Desert Shield are issued 3 nerve agent antidote kits. Those kits are used in the event of chemical attack. The existing supplies in Europe have been stretched thin because of the deployment, but 7th Medical Command officials have found a way to rescue old stockpiles that were once unusable. Specialist Leonard Buchanan has the story.
As the Desert Shield deployment goes into full swing, supplies of nerve agent antidote kits called the Mark I are running low. 7th MedCom Medical Supply went back into their warehouses and got out thousands of kits in which one of the antidotes, atropine, had expired.
One portion of the kit, the 2-Pam chloride, has been extended by the FDA, and they have not extended yet the atropine, or the second portion of the kit. So what we're trying to do is we have brand new atropine, and we're removing the old atropine, putting in the new atropine, which gives us a brand new kit. There's always the possibility that any one of us could go at any time, so it's nice to know that the stuff is ready and exists and is good to go.
By reconstituting these packages, these 7th MedCom soldiers are also saving the Army money.
Reconstitution of 50,000 of these kits is an estimated cost saving of about $1 million, which we would have to put out if we bought totally new kits.
Although the work is repetitive, the troops know that it's for a good cause and the morale stays high.
Yeah, it's been going real well. We've gotten a lot of good support out of the entire company. Everybody from the officers on down to the lower enlisted folks. We've got sergeant majors out here working. So far, it's been real good.
This is the final stop for the Mark I kits as they're sealed and ready to go down to Saudi Arabia to the troops waiting for them. This operation has saved over $1.5 million so far and is headed easily towards the $2 million mark. For AFN News, I'm Specialist Leonard Buchanan.
And time now for a look at our weather forecast.
A high-pressure system over Poland giving way to a low-pressure trough along with a cold front. This front will work its way through England tonight into the Benelux and northern Germany by tomorrow afternoon. For Germany, expect continued cloudy skies through tomorrow, patchy morning fog in the low-lying areas. The Benelux and northern Germany will experience periods of rain, freezing drizzle, and rain mixed with snow. Brisk winds from the southwest will influence the northern coastal areas tomorrow. England expecting mostly cloudy skies with sleet and rain mixed with snow through the evening. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies will persist, periods of snow shower activity, and brisk winds out of the northwest. Temperatures in Central Europe range from the low to mid-20s to the highs in the middle 30s tomorrow. In the UK, expect lows in the upper 20s, highs in the lower 30s. The weather provided by Detachment 8, 7th Weather Squadron, Frankfurt, Germany.
The U.S. dollar was steady in European trade today. No change between the mark and the dollar, which through tomorrow remains at 145. Let's take a look at other military exchange rates.
Hi, my name is Sergeant Eric Williams. I'm stationed in Neu-Ulm, Germany. I'd like to say season's greetings to my wife. I love you and miss you. Hope to be home soon.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Daniel Lynch. I'm with 1st 16th Infantry out of Berblingen, Germany. I'd like to say hi to the friends and family of Charlie Rock. Season's greeting, AFN Wave.
Hi, I'm Specialist Robert Barton from Headquarters 2-5. I'd like to wish all my friends a happy holiday season, and like the waves are really chopping at 4 feet, dude, you know?
Hi, I'm Sergeant First Class John Hurley from Bayreuth, 84th Engineer Company. I'd like to send my family a holiday greeting, my wife Rebecca, my daughter Sarah, and my unborn.
Hello, my name is Specialist James Dawson from 84th Engineer Company in Bayreuth. I'd like to send holiday greetings to my wife Dagmar in Germany. I love you.
Hi, my name is Corporal Frank Meister, Charlie 25 Field Artillery. I'd like to say hello to my wife Denise and to my friends Jeff and Marina Robertson in Neu-Ulm, Germany. Happy holidays.
You've heard all about the consequences of drinking and driving. You've probably also heard that drinking and driving occurs more during the holidays than any other time of the year. Most people don't even realize when they've had too much to drink. You may even think that accidents only happen to other people. Celebrate sober. Don't drink and drive.
A study concerning the Norddeutschland military community is complete. Norddeutschland was being considered for consolidation. Based on study recommendations, user officials have decided to continue the operation of Norddeutschland. However, the study offered some efficiency recommendations to the community, among them consolidating off-post activities, moving them on-post, and eliminating leased facilities. Also, the Norddeutschland community will receive a name change. They'll become the Bremerhaven U.S. military community. The Frankfurt franchise in the World League of American Football made hot news for sports fans today. A general manager and the club name were announced. Specialist Jim Higgins was on hand for the unveiling of the Frankfurt Galaxy.
In June of this year, the World League of American Football made Frankfurt, Germany, a charter member of its first season. Now, this week, as a Christmas present to Germany, the league has presented Frankfurt with the Galaxy. The name of the team was introduced at Frankfurt's Palmengarten along with their general manager, former NFL quarterback Oliver Luck. The name Galaxy comes about through a very exhaustive process of analysis.
Well, the selection of a name is very, very complicated for a lot of different reasons, one of which is the trademark and copyright laws. But we utilized our German marketing experts, and they gave us a selection of 3 or 4 names, and we felt that Galaxy is such an unusual name from an international standpoint, but it still has significance here in the Frankfurt area that we thought it would be very, very appropriate.
Frankfurt's general manager, Oliver Luck, can't wait to get going, and he's looking forward to working with the military community here in Europe. That relationship has already begun.
With the military, it's been fantastic. One of the first things I did when I arrived was make some of the calls and talk to some of the community liaison people, and they've bent over backwards to help us out. They're very interested in seeing us do well, just because of the hundreds of thousands of GIs and their families here. This is a perfect chance for them to have some good, old-fashioned American entertainment.
Now that the Frankfurt Galaxy is a reality here in Germany, stay with AFN. We'll give you information on the coach, the players, season tickets, and a whole lot more as we progress with this franchise, keeping you informed. Reporting in Frankfurt, Specialist Jim Higgins, AFN Sports.
2 universities are offering spouses of desert-bound soldiers special tuition assistance. Airman Sonia McGraw reports.
Education is becoming more and more important to military members and to their families. 2 universities are now offering special scholarships for the spouses of service members who've deployed to Saudi Arabia. The University of Maryland and Central Texas College are offering these scholarships for Term 3 enrollment.
The scholarships are open to the spouses of active duty military personnel who are deployed to the Middle East in connection with Desert Shield. The amount of the scholarship varies depending upon the rank of the spouse who's deployed.
The scholarship rates for the University of Maryland are broken down by the service member's rank. However, the Central Texas College is offering 75% scholarship to all eligible spouses. Spouses who are interested in the Desert Shield Scholarship Program can contact the local education center. And spouses who meet eligibility requirements need to present a copy of their military members' orders to the education center. Airman Sonia McCraw, AFN News.
In military communities throughout Europe, the spirit of giving has been going on long before the holiday season began. In fact, donations for soldiers serving in the Gulf have found extreme enthusiasm since the deployment started. But not all donations are going to the Gulf. Some people give the gift of life, and that's for anyone who needs it. Sergeant Dave Larson has more.
Over the course of 2 days, more than 100 people signed up for the Shape Hospital's holiday blood drive. The need for blood reserves can be critical at this time of year, according to Majid Ahmad of Shape's Blood Lab.
For one thing, a lot of people are on vacation, so you don't have too many regular donors around. At the same time, it's a season where it's icy and dangerous on the roads. God forbid, somebody may need some blood.
Blood donor Vicki McDonald of Shape's Elementary School agrees.
Well, this time of the season, you never know when you'll be needed, when they'll need extra blood, and if you do it now, it might save someone.
The blood collected during the 2 days will help fill Shape's needs, but much of it will be sent to help fill shortages in Germany. Some of the blood taken was stored in special bags that allow the blood to be frozen, giving it a 10-year shelf life. The normal shelf life of blood is only 35 days. Shape's Hospital Lab Chief, Major Gary Kagawa, said the special freezing process is relatively new in Europe.
This freezing process will take place in Germany, and they're utilizing a frozen blood depot system in Germany right now. And this system just started approximately about 3 to 4 months ago.
The holiday blood drive was held by appointment only to cut down on long lines and potential slowdowns. And donors lived up to the old Christmas adage, it's better to give than receive, especially blood. From Shape, Belgium, Army Sergeant Dave Larson, AFN News.
That's our report. We thank you for joining us. We close tonight with a stroll through the Frankfurt Christmas Market. Good night.